What's up, YouTube? This is KO Bets. My name is Bill. We do a live format show where we preview the upcoming UFC event. We give our picks, predictions. You can come in here, hang out with me. This week we've got UFC Fight Night Walker versus Hill. Looks like we got 12 different fights we got to make predictions on. We'll go through, primarily focus on the UFC website. And from there, we'll look at the odds on DraftKings, maybe explore like SureDog for some historical context for some of these fighters. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. That didn't come out right. So if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. I am doing an NFT giveaway. I haven't talked about that for a little while on Twitter, but I'm having some problems with my Dapper account, so I'm just trying to figure it out, but I'll still do a giveaway as soon as I hit 100 subscribers. Besides that, there's really no old business. Last week's fights were great. Hopefully this weekend's are pretty good too. So the first matchup of the night, we got Chad Engler against Jesse Strader. I pronounced that so bad. Anheliger against Jesse Strader. Chad comes in. He's actually got an 11-5 record. Jesse Strader 5-2. Chad's making his UFC debut. Cheers, by the way. Happy Friday. He's making his UFC debut. He came off the Contender Series. Looks like he has really good cardio. 9 straight wins coming into this bout, which is, I mean, he's just absolutely rolling. Pretty good finishing rate to him. Same with Jesse Strader on the other side. He's 0-1 in the UFC, took a loss, first round KO loss to Montel Jackson in his debut. In this one, you know, we'll give him the striking advantage, especially early. I do like Chad's ability, you know, cardio potentially in this fight. I think he's willing to brawl. I think he's willing to push to a pace. If Jesse Strader's not able to put him away early, I think that's a recipe for disaster. He's going to get taken into deep waters by Chad. So we're going to go with Chad on this one for either, I would say either a late match KO or, I mean, I guess possibly like a decision for sure is always in play. I like to just go through the odds with you live, so they don't think the fight's gonna go the distance. As far as winning methods, the Chad Angler, Anheliger KO is plus 140. What's the KO and decision? Minus 165. I mean, seems likely. You know, one of those two results is likely to happen. So, yeah, give me Chad Einholiger on the money line. You know, with it being so early in these guys' career, probably safe to, you know, not put too much on these guys, for sure. Definitely looking to be more conservative in this matchup. In the next fight, we've got Diana Belbita, 14-6, taking on Gloria DePaula. She is 0-2 in the UFC, 5-4 record. Diana Belbita, 1-2 in the UFC. Diana Belbita is the slight favorite at minus 120 odds. I do agree with the odds makers. We're going to have I mean, it's going to be a stand-up fight here, for sure in this matchup. We have a couple of kickboxers. Overall, just really like Diana Belbita's output. Yeah, maybe a little bit less accurate with the strikes. But yeah, I'm basically just liking her on experience in this matchup here. If we check the odds, probably a like point decision is what I'm thinking. I mean, both are capable of getting KOs, and it is a stand-up matchup. So odds makers do think it's going to go the distance. Winning method, it's probably a Belbita decision. Yeah, plus 150. I mean, decision minus 200. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a little value on a KO, but I just don't like it, especially if we look at I like to check Sear Dog sometimes. Sheer Dog. Kind of got rustled in those first two, and then was just, yeah, better than Hannah Goldie. But Hannah Goldie hasn't been good in the UFC thus far. On the flip side, Gloria DePaula. Yeah, I mean, hasn't gotten a KO for a couple of years. So I guess I like the decision in this one. You know, I guess is perhaps possible that one of them does get knocked out. I'm just curious. DePaula has 1 knockout loss. What about Belbita? 0 KO losses. Yeah, 4 submission losses, 4 and 2 in decisions. I just kind of like the vet in this one, the one with a little more experience in Deanna Belbita. Yeah, so I'm inclined to take her on the money line. Probably a decision, but not going to put too much stock into picking, or I'm not going to put any money on any sort of result in that. Probably just go with Deanna Belbita on the money line. I feel like minus 120 odds aren't bad for her given her experience and what we've seen from her in stand-up fights. You know, obviously really struggles with the wrestlers. My computer's moving a little slow right now, everyone. 1 second. Maybe just a little too much going on. We'll close Sure Dog. Chaz Skelly against Mark Striegel. Both coming in 18-3 with 1 no contest. Chaz Skelly minus 200 favorite. Mark Striegel plus 170. I mean, what you've got here are a couple of pretty good grapplers, I would say. I think Striegel has 14 wins by submission out of his 18. Chaz Skelly, he likes to wrestle too. He'll scrap with you to set up that takedown, and then he's looking for top control, ground and pound. Does have a lot of submissions in his own right, 56%. So, 10 of them, it sounds like 9, 10 of them. So, kind of an interesting fight. I do favor Chaz Skelly, the vet, again in this one. It's not going to be a night where we're just picking the people with the most experience, because you'll see in the later predictions we're not going with the veterans. But I like Chaz Skelly minus 200. Kind of like his just willingness to exchange too. Maybe Mark Striegel's a little more proficient in the stand-up department, but I don't think it's going to be enough to deter Chaz Skelly from going in, closing the distance, getting takedowns, and then from there, it's just a wrestling match. So it's I guess whoever looks like the stronger wrestler in this match, whenever you see that, you could live bet. That's who you should roll with. I'm not sure if I'm even interested in betting any money on this one. Again, haven't seen a ton from Mark Striegel. Might put it on like a round robin, like a really low money round robin, just because that's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know. Probably, I mean, if we're looking at the lines, they don't think the fight's going to go the distance because of the submission prowess, right? Yeah. So, the sub decision's minus 615, but the submission there, plus 110. That's interesting. Chaz Skelly, submission decision, minus 165. Yeah, so it seems like Vegas appreciates Skelly's grappling, jiu-jitsu, just all-around ground game a little bit more than Striegel, so a little bit interesting. Next fight, we've got Jessica Rose Clark taking on Stephanie Egger. Jessica Rose Clark is 11-6 in the UFC. Stephanie 6-2. Jessica Rose Clark comes in at minus 170. She's 4-2 in the UFC. Stephanie is the slight underdog at plus 120. She is 1-1 in the UFC. Stephanie is she's a grappler. That's what she wants to do. She wants to grapple. I think Jessica Rose Clark is she's pretty proficient in that department too. She should probably avoid it in this match. I'm going to go with Jessica Rose Clark on the money line at minus 170. Just, I hate to keep going back to experience. It just seems like such a freaking stupid bailout adjective to like support why I like her, but I think she's got decent ground game, and I think she's going to have the advantage on the feet. So I think if she keeps it standing, and I think she can keep it standing, she's going to win the fight. So they do like the decision, it looks like. Plus 110 for the decision. Probably not going to put too much stock into picking the result. Like Jessica Rose Clark, I think minus 170 odds. Wherever she's at, minus 165, wherever she's at now, it's perfectly fine. All right, next fight we've got Gabriel Benitez taking on David Onama. Why did it? Sometimes my M's look like W's. Onama. So if you could, I was trying to pronounce instead of an M there, it's a W. Onama. So that's what the noise was that came out. He is 0-1 in the UFC. Gabriel Benitez, long tenured UFC fighter, 1-3 in his last 4, took the loss to Billy Quarantillo. And we're going to compare a little bit of David's game to Billy Quarantillo. Like, David in his fight against Mason Jones, I mean, he's tough. He's competitive. He just got beat in the takedown department. I don't think we're going to see Gabriel Benitez take him down 8 times, or like however many times he got taken down in that match. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a very competitive fighter in David Onama who's going to push the pace and possibly get a finish in this fight. I mean, I do think... Sorry. I'm going to pull up the UFC page so you can look at it. I do think on the feet... I do think Gabriel's going to be like a little more technical, a little more refined. I just don't know if he's going to, like, David is, he seems like a competitor, a real gamer, is down to brawl, bite down on the mouthpiece. So all 8 of David's wins come via KO. Gabriel Benitez, 18 knockout finishes in his own right. So I like David Onama, and I tend to think the knockout is the way to go. Plus 130 for the knockout. Well, it's just a general knockout. Minus 105. Yeah, Vegas doesn't think this is going the distance. Minus 190. So, I mean, you're almost just best off betting, like picking your fighter is what it looks like to me. Maybe some value in the Benitez KO, but the longer the fight goes, like, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna say there's value in that. Yeah, let's go David Onama. Mario Batista taking on Jay Perrin. Wait. Now he's taking on Khalid Taha. This is a different dude. Holy cow. So versus Jay Perrin, I liked Mario Batista. I think he's still a favorite. Um, oh, I can pull it up here. Okay, he's a heavy favorite. Why? Okay, it comes up as Jay Perrin on here. It is Jay Perrin. What the hell is going on with this? So Jay Perrin's making his UFC debut. I don't I don't know who Khalid Taha is. Okay, yeah. So Khalid Taha bowed out of the match. Okay, that makes sense. So it is Jay Perrin. Ignore the Khalid Taha here. Um, Jay Perrin's making his UFC debut. Um, yeah, I mean Mario Batista. He's 2-2 in the UFC. His losses came to Sanhagen and Trevin Jones. He got armbarred by Sanhagen, knocked out by Trevin Jones. I mean, understandable losses, right? Two really good fighters that he lost to. But then he had like the nastiest KO against Miles John, a flying knee. And then I think Jinsu Son was a decision win. I don't know. I gotta verify. Yeah, Trevin Jones was his last fight. That was almost a year ago, but he did get knocked out, so he probably needed that time off. Um, I just, I really like Mario Batista. I mean, he's minus 365. I'm curious what the odds makers are thinking. They do think the fight goes the distance. I mean, what are you going to do here? You even going to. I mean, you could consider the KO decision, but that's like just no value. No value. I do think Batista is capable of getting the KO, so maybe the KO holds a little value, but yeah, kind of an interesting switch out with Jay Perrin coming in on short notice. Next fight, we've got Jonathan Pierce taking on Christian Rodriguez. Jonathan Pierce, 1-2 in the UFC, heavy favorite at minus 380. Christian Rodriguez, plus 290. Underdog, 7-0 in his professional career. Really good hands. Obviously, so he comes out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Rufu Sport MMA. I believe he trains with the Pettis team. I mean, he is a good fighter, but he's going up against a pretty swarming and high pressure individual in Jonathan Pierce. JSP. JSP. Yeah, high pressure, high output. He's going to be the taller fighter. Yeah, he looked much taller. I mean, reach, it says 71 inches. Reach, it looks like Jonathan Pierce had a significant reach advantage. Yeah, I just like Jonathan Pierce in this one, especially with his fight style against Christian Rodriguez. I think it's a really tough debut. I don't think Rodriguez has much success avoiding takedowns when they're presented. Yeah, I think I like Jonathan Pierce in this matchup. In the next fight, we got Joaquin Buckley taking on Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Joaquin minus 165 favorite, Abdul plus 145. We're going to go with Joaquin on the money line, minus 165. He's 3-2 in the UFC. Big KO power. I mean, in his last fight, I had written down he had a bad gas tank, but in his last fight, he did get a third round finish, which is pretty crazy. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, he had a head kick KO in his win. Ultimately, I think we're going to go with Joaquin on the money line. Abdul's 0-3 in decisions. All of his wins have come to a knockout. So I think we all know the bet, which is safe, that we like. Okay, minus 350. Can we just do KO result? Minus 330 for a KO. Winning round, we could chase like a first round finish. There might even be okay, yeah, round exact method of victory. So I mean, you could maybe do like, I think it's for sure going to be a knockout. So I think you just maybe roll with the fighter you prefer. Yeah, I just like Buckley in this. So we're going to go with Buckley on a money line prediction. Both are dangerous fighters, though, for sure. Jim Miller taking on Nicholas Mata. Again, here, love the experience. No, we're not going with the vet here. We're gonna go with Nicholas Mata, minus 180. He's making his UFC debut. In my opinion, Jim Miller. He had to win in his last matchup, the second round KO. But he just, I don't know. He just doesn't have the gas tank anymore. If he's able to put away Nicholas Mata in the first round, so be it. But we're gonna go with Nicholas Mata. Should try and avoid the grappling as much as possible against Jim Miller. Just super dangerous submission game. Don't want to get caught on the ground with him in round one. If you're looking for results, I guess I would like Jim Miller with an early submission win. If I'm going with Nicholas Mata, I suppose I like either a late finish via KO or a decision, Nicholas Mata KO decision minus 165. Not even that much better than the minus 180 odds, so why even take it, right? The odds makers do not feel this fight is going to go the distance. Yeah, Jim Miller's just getting up there in age. In the next fight, we've got Parker Porter taking on Alan Badeau. Parker Porter, minus 280 as the favorite. Alan Badeau is plus 225. He is 0-1 in the UFC with 1 no contest. 7 of his 8 wins have come via KO. On the flip side, you've got Parker Porter. He is 2-1 in the UFC. He did show a good gas tank against Chase Sherman in his last matchup. Could be hitting his groove a little bit. really liked the output out of him in his last fight. Really was pushing the pace in the later rounds. Kind of looks like, reminds me of like a like the dude from My Chemical Romance who wears like the eyeshadow. Like he's got like very pronounced cavities for his eye. That was something I noticed against Chase Sherman. I didn't pick Parker Porter in that. I thought Chase Sherman, he's kind of been dookie lately. But yeah, I was super like Chase Sherman tired out round one against this guy. If this guy is able to stick that jab out like he was doing early in the early rounds against Chase Sherman versus Alan Bedell, I think it's gonna bring a lot of success for him. I think if he could do that more and then like pick and choose the power shots too, he'll have some success in the UFC. That's for sure. Alan Bedell, though, some things I like about him. Super tall. Kind of seems like I wrote down that Parker Porter was going to be the bigger fighter. Alan Bedell kind of looked a little bit big heading into the ceremonial weigh-off. I'm pretty sure Parker Porter is bigger from like a weight perspective, but Alan Bedell is very tall. That's for sure. But I trust the gas tank of Parker Porter way more than I trust the gas tank of Bedell. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Parker Porter actually score a knockout. The knockout's at plus 140. Yeah. I mean, it just wouldn't surprise me. The gas tank isn't really there on Alan Bedell. When you're a heavyweight and going up against a heavyweight that does have a gas tank, like that could be problematic in the later rounds for sure. Next fight, we've got Kyle Dawkins taking on Jamie Pickett. Kyle Dawkins is the favorite at minus 290 odds. Jamie Pickett is the underdog at plus 230. Last fight I picked against Kyle Dawkins, it was the fight against Kevin Holland. There was the no contest because of the head clash, but he did get the submission win. He just seems like a really tough fighter, a guy who's down to throw down. Providing he doesn't get knocked out in the first round, which I don't think he will. This is a really tough fight for Jamie Pickett. He's going to get tested. He's going to get dragged into deep water. I like the late round submission by Kyle Dawkins for sure in this. He seems like a little bit of an entertainer. I thought he did really well against Kevin Holland, even though there was the head clash. He was looking good. I was nervous even before the head clash. So the Kyle Dawkins submission is plus 240. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like that a lot, actually. I'm gonna make a note. Whew, I'm a little. I don't know why I'm a little pooped. So, for Valentine's Day this week, my lovely girlfriend, she got me a customized hat that says KO Bets. Fukin subscribe. Fukin subscribe. Whew. It's hot as hell up here. I know what just happened too. Someone just turned on the fucking heat in this house. It gets so freaking hot. I'm I'm I don't know if I can get through the main event. It's that hot. That's I've been trying to take a firm stand. We don't need the heat on 73 degrees in the house. It's a it's a constant argument on a day-to-day basis what level the heat should be at. 73 is too hot, and I can tell it's hot right now. I bet you it's probably 70 fucking 3 in here. Fuck. All right. We've got Johnny Walker, 18-6, taking on Jamahal Hill, 9-1. Hill is the favorite at minus 250. Johnny Walker plus 200. I'm so like tired right now. I can't even think of who Hill just lost to very recently. Was it Paul Craig? Yeah, Paul Craig. That was kind of a unique circumstance. Got his arm broken and then kind of was caught and just didn't give up. And it didn't look pretty. It didn't look pretty, but he's a tough dude. Johnny Walker, very unorthodox, throws a lot of jumping strikes. He is on a one-fight losing streak. We saw him fight against Thiago Santos. That was that was a boring fight, in my opinion. Very low output, I thought, from both fighters. They were, I don't know. He was just very cautious against a fighter like Thiago Santos. I think he's probably going to fight similar against Hill. I just don't know if Johnny Walker can stay out of harm's way in this one. I do like the knockout finish in this fight. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's how you fight a fight, and if Johnny Walker's just running away the whole time, that's no good, but Hill should march him down, and he should hopefully get an opportunity to lay a couple punches on him. I think Hill's going to win via KO in this one. If we're looking at the odds here, the odds makers do not like the fight to go the distance at minus 450. Hill via KO, minus 135. I mean, over under a round and a half. Whew. That's probably a good bet. I kind of like under 1.5 for plus 115. Just, it's just a couple of good opponents, and you saw it with Derek and Ty. Maybe there's value on something on the result as opposed to choosing a fighter on the money line. So I kind of like that under 1.5 rounds. So that wraps up the show here. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe. I will talk to you next week. We do have more fights next weekend, so I'm looking forward to those. I think it's Bobby Green against Islam. Is that next weekend? Yeah. Fiziev had to, Fiziev didn't make it. Bobby Green was cool last weekend, though. That's for sure. He was having a good time. Good entertainer. Michael Gilmore. Dang. I think this guy pissed me off his last fight. I can't remember. I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure Misha did me dirty last fight and didn't have the best performance. Let's see. Split decision. He's a guy who just he loves grappling, you know? Good submission artist. It's an interesting fight for sure. And I think Wellington is a pretty decent jiu-jitsu artist in his own right. So it's an interesting matchup for sure. And then we've got Bobby Green, Islam in the main event. I mean, like what we saw versus Hooker and Islam, that's what I expect to see in this. Probably a first round submission. And Bobby Green, fantastic entertainer, good fighter, experienced. It's just that grappling from Islam is so crazy. So I think I like Islam a lot in that. I don't even know what the odds would be on something like that. If you can even I did think Hooker stood a chance, and obviously it didn't work out that way. It's 26. Minus 720. Horrible. All right. I don't know. So this weekend, I don't think I really have anything going on. We got a little bit of snow yesterday, did some shoveling. Oh, we got Purple Carrot coming to the house next week. Very excited about that. Maybe we've got, what is this? Donda 2 coming out on the 22nd. Yeah, so looking forward to, I guess, just relaxing this weekend, hanging out at the house, cooking a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm just looking at some of the stuff that's on here on YouTube. Just was choosing my song to exit with here. I really like that beat today. I'm gonna like this one. Who made this? Soul Production Music. 11.3 subscribers, no copyright. Let's open the club. Have a good weekend, everyone.